And so the bottom line is this. I've been unfaithful to my wife. I developed a relationship with what started as a dear, dear friend from Argentina. It began very innocently, as I suspect many of these things do, in just a casual email back and forth, in advice on one's life there and advice here. But here, recently, over this last year, it developed into something much more than that. And as a consequence, I hurt her. I hurt you all. I hurt my wife. I hurt my boys. I hurt friends like Tom Davis. I hurt a lot of different folks. And all I can say is that I apologize. You know, I'm committed to that process of walking through with Jenny, the boys, with the Tom Davises of the world, with the people of South Carolina, in saying, where do we go from here? I would simply say I go back to that simple word of asking for forgiveness. Just as a declarative statement, one more before we open up for a couple questions, and then I'll move on. You know, I've tried to think of, first step. One of the first steps is clearing out more time as we go through this process of reconciliation and figuring out what comes next. I'm going to resign as chairman of the Republican Governors Association. I'm going to tender my resignation. One, because I think it's the appropriate thing to do, given other governors across this nation, and my role as chairman of the RGA. And two, frankly, just from the standpoint of time. If I think about this process, not only does it begin at a family level, it begins with the family of South Carolinians. And so that means me going one by one and town by town to talk to a lot of old friends across the state in what I've done and indeed asking for their forgiveness. That'll take time that I probably can't devote to the RGA. To give you way more detail than you'll ever want, I met this person a little over 8 years ago. Again, very innocently. And struck up a conversation, and I don't want to go back to the bubble of politics. This is not justifying, because again, what I did was wrong. Period. End of story. Okay, wait. No, I didn't. My own ticket. Wait, guys. One question at a time. Is that fair enough? There's a certain irony to this. But this person at the time was separated, and we ended up in this incredibly serious conversation about why she ought to get back with her husband for the sake of her two boys. That not only was it part of God's law, but ultimately those two boys would be better off for it. And we had this incredibly earnest conversation, and at the end of it, said, could I get your email? We swap emails, whatever. And it began just on a very casual basis. Hey, I got this issue that's come up with my life, or vice versa. What do you think? Because when you live in the zone of politics, you can't ever let your guard down. You can't ever say, hey, what do you think, or what do you think, because it could be a front page story, or this story, or that story. And so there was this zone of protectedness in that she lives thousands of miles away, and I was up here, and you could throw an idea out, or vice versa. And we developed a remarkable friendship over those 8 years. And then, as I said, about a year ago, it sparked into something more than that. I have seen her 3 times since then, during that whole sparking thing. And it was discovered, let me finish, 5 months ago. And at that point, we went into serious overdrive and trying to say, where do you go from here? And that's where the Cubby Culbertsons and the others of the world begin to help with, how do you get all this right? How do you again, be honest.